Cold calling business owners, arguably one of the scariest parts of starting any sales cycle. But what are some tips that you can follow today to drastically increase your chances of success? Do I get shouted at by business owners? The answer is definitely yes. Keep watching to find out more. Look at that sweet, sweet new chair. What's going on, sales family? It's Fehed from Sales Unveiled once again, helping slash through way weirder than I anticipated for that one. All the misconceptions around sales and business, and giving you, yes you watching this, all the practical advice you need in your day-to-day careers. Cold calling any prospect is easily one of the scariest parts of working in sales. I mean, what's worse than calling someone out of the blue, trying to pitch a product, only for them to shout at you down the line and wish that you'd never been born? I mean, that's definitely happened to me. More times than I'd want to admit. Whilst cold calling then is definitely challenging, cold calling business owners is definitely its own unique kettle of fish, if that's the right saying and I've used that in the right way. Mainly because they're a lot more direct, they're a lot more upfront, and they require a slightly different sales technique if you want to get through to them. In the video then today, what we're going to cover is my top 5 tips to cold call business owners. I'm also going to let you guys in on the secret, guys, and that's not that this t-shirt is completely see-through, which is the fact that if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a nice little bonus for you in terms of what directly works for me whenever I reach out to business owners. Oh, come on. Let's jump into it. Point 1, set yourself up for success. Now, whilst cold calling thousands of businesses every single month is a surefire way to have a couple of conversations with business owners and small business owners at that, one of the major mistakes people make when calling small business owners is that they don't set themselves up for success. Now, I personally found that reaching out to a business owner with a super personalized email with a really specific reason for getting in touch is much more likely to yield a valuable conversation than if you were to just call, 500 people in a week. I mean, if you were going to call 500 people in a week, I mean, tell me your skills, because that's pretty impressive. After all, what would you rather do? Make 200 cold calls in 1 week and have one solid conversation, or make 150 calls after sending out 150 super personalized emails and have 5 of your prospects or business owners come directly back to you? Know which one I would rather have. It's all about understanding your business owner's problems and converting them from cold prospects to warm prospects. Now, if you're interested in understanding how I would craft out a super templated outbound style email, I link to it, wait for the swerve, there we go, over here. Check it out. It's what I use on a day-to-day basis and has a conversion rate as high as 20%. So you're definitely going to want to check that one out. Point 2, introduce yourself effectively. Now, this is something that salespeople like myself go back and forth on literally all the time. Often, opening up a conversation is one of the hardest things to do with a business owner. Typically, not always, but typically because they fall under the red personality type, which is very direct, short, to the point. Think like the Incredible Hulk if he was a director of a Fortune 500 company. Now, a lot of sales training and a lot of salespeople here on YouTube, actually, that I respect quite a lot, recommend that we go in quite hard with these type of directors and business owners just because of the fact that they're more short, more to the point, making them feel a little bit subservient to us. Now, whilst mirroring is definitely one of the most effective things we can do on a sales call, I find that we want to get to know this person before we decide what type of person and how to mirror them. So in my experience, opening up the conversation by being warm, friendly and open is definitely the way to go. Hi, it's Fehed from insert company name here. How are you? This directly lets them know the company that you're working for and starts the conversation going with a nice open question. Now, if they've read your first email, like 20% of them will, if you follow my outbound sales email template, they're going to be much more open to having that conversation and understanding exactly why you're reaching out to them. It's a really good email. Check it out. Point 3, ask questions that start with what. Now, I'm sure a few of you watching this are probably small business owners trying to find your first couple of clients. I'm going to let you in on a little sneaky secret from us salespeople. Open questions are salespeople's secret weapon. They actually allow us to identify the pains and the problems that business owners are facing with their businesses, and directly allow us to identify if our solution and if the products and services that we're offering can actually help solve those problems. That was a mouthful to say. So why should we ask questions that start with what? Often we think we're asking open questions when in reality, if we really think about it, we're actually not. For example, let's say I was selling accounting services to a small business owner, which is, a common problem a lot of small business owners will face. Asking them what they struggle with when doing their yearly accounts, rather than if they struggle with doing their yearly accounts, is likely to yield 2 very, very different answers. A quick exercise actually that you can do right now to see if you are asking open questions is just make a list of 10 questions you want to ask the business owners that you're targeting, and then replace the first word with them with what, and you'll often find that they're going to be a lot more open than they were kind of before. Speaking from experience here, guys, it took me a long time to figure that one out, but hopefully that should directly help you with asking more open questions. Point 4. Understand who the champion is. I mean, let's not get it twisted if people still say that kind of stuff, guys. Going after business owners is a fantastic idea. In fact, I think too often as salespeople, we're a little bit too scared to go after some of the higher ups who actually have decision-making authority. Business owners, after all, have real decision-making capability, usually assigning things like budget and timing. And if you're lucky, they might even be able to sign off on your product or service within the same day. A boy can hope. That being said, when reaching out to business owners, it's important to get an idea of who would benefit the most from the product or the service that you're offering. Going back to the accounting example then, we know for a fact that the department that's most likely to benefit from accounting services will be, the finance, the payroll, the accounting departments. So having a good idea of that will allow you to build an internal champion within the organization, giving you a cheerleader when you're not on sales calls or sales meetings, which, definitely helps move the needle and gets the business owner on board there as well. Point 5, have clear case studies with local competitors. Now, like I said earlier on in the video today, guys, a lot of you are probably targeting smaller sized business owners. And so one of the most important things that you can use when you're on cold calls with business owners is to actually use relevant case studies for them. This could be things like their local competitors. So one of the most important things that you can do, if you are working with their competitors, that is, don't make up case studies randomly on the spot, would be to kind of highlight the direct monetary, time, or overall value that you basically offer these customers. For example, let's say we are offering accounting services to, I don't know, a local pharmacy, for example, and we already work with 3 or 4 pharmacies within sort of a 1 mile radius. Highlight the information, highlight things like, how much money you've saved them, how much tax information you've saved them, all that kind of stuff. Not an accountant, as you can probably tell, but by highlighting all that kind of stuff, small business owners are going to think, hang on a second, they're working with 3 or 4 of our competitors. They've saved them, 3 or 4 thousand pounds per year each. That means that they've got that much more money to compete against us with. It's really going to put you in a very, very strong position. The best way then to bring this up on a cold call is to make it flow naturally in a very simple 3-sentence story. Think what their problem was before. So for the pharmacy, maybe it was they didn't have enough money to spend on, additional drugs, how you helped them. So maybe the story here is you identified, the 3 or 4 areas in which way they were overspending money. And then finally, what the version and what the conclusion of that actually was. So, the resolution of that was, I don't know, maybe they saved £5,000 per year on the back of that they could spend towards their community and attracting, more customers there. Something as simple as that can go a very, very long way in terms of reassuring the business owners that you're targeting that, going to do a good job for them. Now, I appreciate I talk very, very quickly. So what you want to do once again is you want to highlight what their problem was before, how exactly that you helped them, and then finally what the result of that was there as well. As simple as possible. Now, some of you watching this are probably small business owners yourself and are after your first few clients, so don't actually have any people that you're working with at the moment, any clients. So what do you do in that situation? I hear you guys. The best thing to do in this situation then is to find, a brand that's quite well known in your industry. So let's just say, for example, we're targeting the pharmacy that we talked about earlier on, but we don't work with any of the pharmacies. Well, maybe have a look at an organization that has its information available publicly. So in the UK, that would be the likes of Lloyd's Pharmacy, for example. I'm pretty sure that they're a publicly traded company. So you can find their balance sheets, you can find out all that information online and then show and highlight exactly where you would be able to make them savings and all those kinds of things, and present that on the phone, again in the 3 to 4 sentence scenario and case study to your prospects. What would be even better actually in this situation would be if you were to maybe put that together in a mini document or something like that that you could send over to them on the back of these calls with business owners to really show that you've gone one step beyond, you've done your homework and all those kinds of things. Because let's face it, a lot of people won't be expecting this kind of stuff, and this should kind of be the type of stuff that you're doing even if you do work with a lot of their competitors there as well, showing that you go one step beyond for them. But bonus, I love this chair so much, I'm never going to give it up. So thanks so much guys for sticking around to the end of the video, and as a thank you I'm going to give you guys my extra special tip that works all the time when I'm targeting business owners. So one of the tips that I've picked up from Aaron Ross and his best-selling book Predictable Revenue is basically highlighting the fact that with a lot of these business owners, the less you give to them, the better. So in an outbound sales email, maybe asking them a 1 or 2 sentence email will probably be the most effective thing that you could do. So to highlight exactly what it is that I would send to a business owner, I've crafted up a very brief email that I would send that sounds something like this. Again, we'll use the idea that we're targeting a pharmacy and that we're offering our accounting services. Hey Bob, don't know why we went with Bob, but Bob is the business owner of this pharmacy. Hoping you can help. Are you the best person to speak to about reducing the tax bill at Bob's Pharmacy? Best, Fehed. Sending something as simple as a 2-line email is much more likely to get their answer, and acting like a lost lamb will actually get you a lot further than you think. I mean, let's say if Bob isn't directly responsible for this, but maybe his accounting department is, he'll put you directly in touch with them, and they're much more likely to want to have a conversation with you if they've been recommended to speak to you by the business owner after all. Now, this video today has been very much focused on small business owners, but if you'd want me to maybe focus on, I don't know, how to target C-level directors, maybe some of those kinds of people, please do let me know. Leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to that video. Please do, as always, like and subscribe. Look at this hair, look at this beard. I can't even afford to shave at the moment. So please do like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts on what you think of this video and how you're going to use these tips going forward to help you in both sales and business. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one, guys. As always, stay safe and we'll make the world of sales and business a better place. Have a good one. Bye.